But I bet the next day when you wake up in the morning, you will feel noticeably less lower back pain. Hey guys, I'm Mark McKilley with Live Anabolic. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to basically strengthen your core and fix your lower back pain. And believe it or not, this is probably going to end up being the most important tip or trick that you've ever learned when it comes to fixing your lower back pain. Because I found this out 10 years ago by accident. A trainer showed me and I was blown away by the fact that it worked. I thought, no way, this is going to help my lower back pain. But trust me, this is a biggie and it's the last thing I'm going to show you. All right, so when we say core, most men think abs. And yes, your abs are part of your core, but remember your lower back is also part of your core. This whole band around your lower midsection is quote unquote your core, and there's a ton of different muscles. So I got 5 exercises I'm going to show you to help strengthen all these muscles. And a lot of people think that will solve their lower back pain, and it might if that's what you're suffering from, just a really weak core. But I had a strong core 10 years ago, and I still had lower back pain. And so I thought, well, that just means I'm tight. I just got to do more stretching. Well, I tried doing more stretching, a lot more. Didn't help. I don't even know if it helped a little bit. And that's when I asked a trainer at this gym I was working at. He was a young guy, but he's really sharp. And he had a master's in physiology. And he showed me something. He said, oh, I can fix your lower back. I'm like, I'm rolling my eyes when he said, oh, I can fix your lower back pain. And he did. I'm going to show you how to do it at the end of this video. But first, let me show you 5 exercises that will help you strengthen your core, because I bet 99% of the men watching right now do not have a strong core. All right, well, when it comes to strengthening our core, basically everything we're going to do is going to be down on the ground, all right? And the good news is you don't need any special equipment for any of this stuff except for a softball or a baseball or some kind of a ball that's pretty hard. A tennis ball ain't going to work. But the first exercise I'm going to show you is what I like to do the most, all right? And it's called a bicycle cross crunch. And oh, I think they feel fantastic. They actually make my lower back feel good. I do these at the gym a lot while I'm resting in between sets. Let's say if I'm working chest, instead of getting on the floor at the gym, which is real dirty, I'll get on a bench. I'll just lay down on a flat bench. And it could be a bench press bench, or it could even be like, you know, the cable rows bench, you know, on the cable machines. It doesn't matter. Get you off the ground. But anyway, here we go. I put my fingers, I don't lock my fingers and put them behind your neck. You know, there's no reason to ever really do that. You'd end up kind of pulling your head forward and just straining your neck. So just kind of lightly touch your temples here. And I get in this starting position like this. And I'm just going to basically ride a bicycle and twist from side to side and try to touch my offside thigh with my other elbow. Just nice, steady pace. And if you can't touch your legs all the way, that's okay. Just kind of go as far as you can, depending on your flexibility and what kind of conditions you're in. If you can, you know, try to touch the inside of your thigh with your elbow. That means you'll get a really good range of motion. You're going to really feel it in your abs, but because you're twisting, you'll also involve these oblique muscles on the side of your stomach. All right, so remember, our core is not just our stomach. We got to work our lower back. This is a real easy, straightforward movement, but it's a lot harder than it looks. It's called a Superman. Okay, so we're just going to be down here on our stomach like this. Hands out here, just relaxed, okay? Now, all you need to do is raise your arms and your legs off the ground at the same time. Sounds easy? So here we go. Superman. And you're going to hold it like this for about a 3 or 4 count, and then come back down. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, down. So when I come up, basically I'm arching my back as much as I can, and I'm raising my legs off the ground as much as I can, and raising my arms as much as I can. And it's not much, but just a little bit is hard. So up, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, down. And when you raise your legs, that means you're going to be engaging your glutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. And when you do that, you're really engaging the muscles in your lower back and really strengthening them. Now, you're not going through much of a range of motion here, but you're really having to flex your lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings, even your upper back muscles. That whole rear chain of muscles are gonna really, you're really gonna feel it. And it doesn't take a lot of practice, guys. Even if you can only raise your feet and your arms that much off the ground, it's effective. All right, so the third exercise, we're gonna be back on our back again, and these are called bent knee wipers. A wiper, kind of like a windshield wiper is what we're referring to here. So, arms out here to your side, all right? We're gonna raise our knees and basically form a 90-degree angle here. And I'm just gonna rotate. All right, so guys, as you're slowly going and twisting from side to side, it's just about feeling the stretch as you go through the full range of motion here. You don't have to go fast. Matter of fact, it's almost impossible to go fast, which is the nice thing. And then the other deal is, you will actually, it feels so good when you go all the way as far as your body will let you go from side to side. Man, it's just a great feeling, especially when we're doing this in conjunction with all those other exercises. Way over here, and then all the way to the other side. All right, so the fourth exercise is called a Spider-Man plank. Love exercises with great names like this. So let's get in a plank position, and we're gonna do a plank position up on our hands instead of our elbows. And Spider-Man, what does Spider-Man do when he crawls up the side of a building? He's gotta crawl from side to side. All right, he's crawling up that building. You're engaging a lot of muscles in your core here, guys. From your abs to your lower backs to your glutes and your hip flexors. A lot of things working at once. You're gonna get out of breath because you're also using your shoulders and your chest to hold yourself up. So just knock out as many as you can here. Give yourself a little rest and then move on to the fifth and final exercise. So the fifth and final exercise is something called a seated twisting punch. And basically, I just wedge my toes under the couch or something that'll help me with my, it's kind of like a sit-up, except we're not sitting up. We're staying in this seated position here, and I'm just gonna twist and punch from side to side. So because I'm sitting here just not doing anything, I'm really engaging my core. I'm having to flex my abs, all right? But we're throwing a twist in here. That's also gonna engage your obliques. And believe it or not, you're gonna feel it in your lower back. So just knock out about 8 to 10 on each side. And you're gonna be ready for a break. And then remember, guys, the final tip, and the tip that I think may help the vast majority of guys with lower back pain, involves basically no exercise at all, but it does involve a lot of pain. All right, so guys, this is a softball. A baseball will work, but it can't be, it's gotta be hard, pretty hard, but it can't be too small. And you'll see why in just a minute. It needs to be a relatively good diameter size. I would say baseball probably the smallest, but remember, a tennis ball is too squishy. It will not serve the purpose of what I'm about to show you here, guys. The problem is, I hate doing this because it hurts, all right? But what hurts more is just having a sore lower back. And it's that feeling where you feel like your back is just tight, and if you could just stretch it, the pain would go away, but it doesn't really work. It doesn't really help that much. So this is fantastic. So what we're going to do is you want to feel your pelvic bone here, okay? And here's the top of it. So go down a little bit, all right? And don't go too far back, because now I'm on my glutes, all right? So top of the pelvic bone comes straight down, and there's going to be kind of a soft spot right here. And that's where your IT band and a lot of different muscles come together, and they're all kind of connect to your pelvis, all right? There's tons of little overlapping muscles and tendons that are all, you know, in this area, and it just gets super tight, especially if you guys are doing a lot of leg weights and, you know, hitting your lower body like you're supposed to. So what we're going to do is here's my bone. I'm going to come down. It's, I don't know, what is that, about 4 inches? And there's a soft spot. I can feel it right here. Well, guess what? We're going to lay on it. Okay. So put the ball there, and you can hold yourself up. You don't want your whole body weight. That'll really hurt. So I'm holding myself up, and I'm putting the ball there, and I can feel that soft spot. All right, it kind of wants to go there. So if I get the ball too high, it's on the bone. I can feel it on my bone here. I just moved down about 2 or 3 inches, and there it is. There's a soft spot. And now I'm slowly allowing my body weight to sink in to that ball, and oh my God, it hurts. So that ball is just pushing against where that IT band attaches and where those other tendons attach. And it's just, you know, the more weight and the more pain you can endure, the more effective this is going to be. But what you need to do is time it. You need to just kind of hold it, and you can move it around just a little bit. Find that spot. So that first spot where I've been sitting, it's starting to relax a little bit. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as the first 10 or 15 seconds. All right? Then move it just a little bit, you know, just forward and backwards. Oh yeah. Forwards and back like this, and then up and down, and find another tender spot and hold it for about 15 seconds. And as the pain subsides, you can add more of your body weight to it. And when you do that, the pain will increase. And then it'll start to subside as things loosen up, all right? And then you can try moving the ball. You only need to move it, you know, about a ½ an inch to an inch in different directions. And wherever it hurts the most, stop there and maintain pressure on that spot. You don't have to move. You know, once you find a really painful spot, and then hold it. So do about 60 seconds on that side. You got to do the other side now, guys. So once you do it a few times, it's real easy to find that soft spot. It's not hard to find it, because typically it'll be the most sore area. So remember, wherever the pressure hurts the most is where you want to stop moving and slowly start adding body weight. So I add a little body weight here, and it hurts. But after about 10 or 15 seconds, and try to relax, guys. I'm talking, but if you really try to relax, even though it's painful, the pain will start subsiding, even though you still have the same amount of body weight on it. And then once that happens, you can't see what I'm doing now, but I can add more weight, because this leg right here is pushing up. This leg's controlling how much of my body weight is actually pushing down. So I'm holding my whole lower body up in the air just with my left leg now. And so I can sink down into that softball by relaxing and allowing more weight. So it hurts. And if it doesn't hurt, guys, then you got the ball in the wrong spot, or you're not putting enough of your body weight on it. And then, okay, oh yeah, there, see, I just moved it about an inch. I found another really sore, tender spot. Oh, just hold it there for 15 or 20 seconds. Oh, and then you can kind of move around and find other tender spots, but spend about a minute and a half max on each side. And you might not feel instant back relief right now, pain relief, but I bet the next day when you wake up in the morning, you will feel noticeably less lower back pain, even though you're not stretching or anything. Do this every day for 3 or 4 days. You might even try doing it twice a day for 3 or 4 days. And I bet for 90% of the guys watching right now that feel like they have a really tight kind of, lower back pain, I bet 90% of you guys are going to see a huge amount of relief just from doing this. And it works, for me at least, it works typically for 2 or 3 months at a time. I don't have to do this every day. I will all of a sudden notice that, God damn, my lower back's hurting. I'm at the gym working out and it's just really tight and painful. And I'm not talking about a nerve pain. I'm not talking about like, a bulging disc pain. That's something completely different. This won't help it. This is like that muscle tightness pain. And I can do this 2 or 3 days in a row, and then I won't have any lower back pain for the next 2 months. I don't have to do it every day. So you only need to do it when your lower back tells you it needs a little help. So there you go, guys. 5 great exercises for your core. Doing those exercises on a regular basis will actually help not just strengthen, but protect your spine from injury, from, bulging disc and things like that. But that last little trick that I showed you, completely different. It's not a muscle strengthening exercise like the 5 exercises I show you. This is about, I don't know what exactly it does other than just loosen up really tight muscles and tendons that I think are causing the pain in your lower back. It may be causing, your glutes to be too tight, all right, which puts undue stress and strain on your lower back. I'm not sure what the real trick is, but my gosh, this is so straightforward and it worked phenomenal for me. And then finally, guys, remember, you got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.